There has been a viral video of Melania Trump refusing to lend a hand to her husband Donald after he outstretched his arms. So it got me thinking, obviously in that relationship there's a lot more going on than just not wanting to have a PDA, but I wondered what you guys are comfortable doing in terms of public displays of affection. How far are you comfortable going and how far are you comfortable witnessing?
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm really, really comfortable with PDA. I remember, I think
that
it was
does
like,
not surprise me.
I knew. I'm not gonna lie, do you know what? On our second date, right, my boyfriend and I, we had walked down from Edgware Road, and for once, neither of us. Girl. Listen, without keep it PG, and neither of us had driven, so we're both getting on public transport, and I think we stopped at like Marble Arch tube station, and we went in for this big snog session, and people started clapping for us. Like we were doing it like the movies.
Baby, make that baby.
But do you know what it is though? For me, I've always been a person where the way I am, I'm very, very what's the word? I'm very tactile. As in, like I'm very open. I'm very open. My emotions flow through my body. They flow through my face. You know, when I'm with someone, however I feel for them, it flows through my body. And I've always been very comfortable with PDA. Obviously, being mindful of which surroundings I am. Like if I'm, you know, with like all my aunties and uncles, I'm not gonna be, you know, rubbing off his face. But you know, a touch here, a touch there, you know, a stroke. Like I'm very comfortable with those things just because that's how I've naturally been. And luckily, my partner he might not be as comfortable as me, but you know he does these little, you know, little hand things. So I think it's just I love it. And when it comes to seeing PDA, I won't lie, it's sometimes awkward if you see a couple kissing. You do kind of want to look away, but I just love seeing people being affectionate. So if I see like a couple holding hands, or you know, I don't know, I just love to see little displays. I love it. I love love. I love romance. I can't help it.
Aww. That's sweet. That's sweet.
And he's just like, that's sweet, but I can't relate.
Because it's really tough, because I hear myself in Linda, but then I also know myself, okay? Because I am a person where the emotion just flows out of me, right? I'm like an amorous person, like an affectionate person. Like I love love. And that is how I am, but only in the confines of my house. It's like as soon as my big toe crosses the line,
only behind closed doors.
I can't do it. And do you know what? It's so many reasons. One, I've said this a few times on here, but I'm a big prude. I am such a prude. It's actually unbelievable. Like, I'm even going to give you a snippet of it. I'm such a prude, guys. I can't even watch kissing scenes in TV shows. I have to fast forward. I cannot do it. I can't. It makes me uncomfortable. I just can't do it.
Anissa, what kind of shows are you watching? Because every show that I watch is like some
kissing.
No, sex scenes. Exactly. They're wild these days,
exactly, guys. Luanda. And so that's why I have to fast forward. I can't do it. There is something that makes me ridiculously uncomfortable. I'm just a prude. So when I walk outside my door, that prudish behaviour comes over me. So when I see public displays of affection, I'm just like, I can't even function. I don't even understand how it's happening. Do you know what I mean? Not to say that I've never had public displays of affection. When I was younger and there was a lot of alcohol involved, then it's a whole different situation. But a sober older Anissa is not doing public displays of affection. When I'm in the house, we can be affectionate. It's important for me to have a man that's affectionate, but only affectionate in the house. When we're on the street, I don't mind if we're doing street soldier.
So no hand holding. No hand holding. You're not linking arms.
She did not.
No, but honestly,
I'm not really like a link arm, hold hand kind of girl. I just not. Maybe in the house, but not outside in the street.
They're spudding. Wow. You're spudding, innit?
Give him a salute. Give your soldier a salute when it's on his way.
Exactly. Just that nod, like. No, the thing is, I don't know what it is, guys, but even if I physically would want to, there is something that my body won't physically allow me to do. The prude just comes over me. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all different, right? I think for me, like, in terms of public displays of affection, I think they're one of two ways, right? So in terms of Linda, I think you've got your honeymoon stage, or like you literally genuinely can't keep your hands off each other. And sometimes, you know, a snogging situation where you get an applause from strangers, it happens, right? But then on the flip side, I think you also have like performative PDA. And what I mean by that is you either have people, couples who are insecure in their relationships and feel like they need to prove something to the outside world, or they are marking their territory, right? I remember one time that I was at a party with my friends, and I went with one friend, so I knew one person in this whole house party. But you know me, I speak to everyone, very friendly. It doesn't stop a girl. I'll find a group of people, I'll integrate it, and we'll be talking. I was talking to a group of people there, and we were just chatting about whatever we were talking about. But then I needed the bathroom, and I said, I don't know whose house this is. Whose house is this? Because I need to use the toilet. I don't want to use the toilet. I want to ask permission, and I want directions to where it is, right? And they said that guy over there is his house. I'm like, okay. So I just went to him to ask him where the toilet is. His girlfriend made her way from across the other side of the room to come and kiss his face right in front of me to let me know that her man was taken, when all I wanted to do was release my bladder. So when those kind of things happen, I just feel like you're insecure because you don't feel like they're going to be loyal to you, and you think you need everyone else in the room to know that you're together, when really it should just be between the two of you, right?
I fully get you on that one. I think there are some people like that, and I was reading an article and they're saying like some people who might even be close to breaking up might in public show more affection, so people don't actually know what's going on in their relationship. And we've seen it with like celebrities. 1 minute they're on the red carpet, and next month they're like, oh, they broke up. And you're just like, but I literally used to be at the Brit Awards, like all over each other. So I think people do it. I think for me, I'm like, I like hand holding in public. I have a little hug. I'll have a peck, but no tongues. Like I'm not here for that. It makes it. I'll just be like, what are you doing? And my husband's very funny because he's very tactile in private. In public, you would think he was like a different person. I think for him, he's just like, we never did that public thing right there. But in private, he'll be like, let's hold hands, let's hug, let's this, let's that. But in public, I literally, sometimes I'll just kiss him in public just to freak him out, because he'll be like, take the kiss then, take the kiss, but he's not down for it. So it makes me laugh.
Oh my days.
I do.
Oh my days.
But you don't have a tactile person. But when you're in public, it's just like I don't know what comes over me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if people. I think if you're getting the affection that you need at home, like you don't need to prove anything. You don't need an audience, you know. But I think there's actually also something to be said in terms of like the privilege that's attached to who can have public displays of affection. Because you know we're all talking about heterosexual relationships, and there are some people, you know, like earlier we said, there are some people of color who have to pass as white to survive. There are also people who can't display their affection for their partners in public if they're the same sex, or even if they're in an interracial relationship. I mean, I personally, I remember I had this friend who I was quite close to, and he was a white male. He was actually gay, but it's irrelevant because you can't look at him and be like, you're gay, you know what I mean? Like, so we're very comfortable with each other. So, you know, we'd walk around, sometimes we'd hold hands, but we'd always be together. We'd always be talking. We're just comfortable. But the looks that we would get, I'd enter into a space and I'd wonder why I didn't feel safe. Like, why are people making me feel like I'm not safe? And then I realized it's because they thought I was in an interracial relationship. So I think that there's also something to be said for, you know, same-sex relationships and interracial relationships, their PDA and what happens to them when they're doing public displays of affection.
You know, it makes me think about this book that I read by Florence Giving called Women Don't Owe You Pretty. Great book. I'd recommend to anyone. She's a feminist and she's bisexual, and she was talking about the reaction that she's gotten from people when she's been on a date with a woman, and she was just saying like she dare not hold their hands, they dare not kiss in public, because she was at the range of the range of
attention, the range of attention that they get there, when there's either guys who are just like, I'll do it again, it really turns me on, or people who are just like they're afraid for their lives, or it's just not a safe space. And I didn't realize, and I was reading about an article in Advocate magazine or Advocate online, just how much PDA we take for
granted as heterosexual people or people who date people of the opposite sex. And they were saying things like a back rub or a kiss on the cheek or like stroking someone's back, stroking someone's arm, moving an eyelash. They were like, these are things we have to overly think about as people who are attracted to people of the same sex, because you don't know what other people might do and what their reaction might be. So I think as much as we're talking about it and it's funny, I think we should also not spare a thought, but just be mindful of how of the privilege that we have in being able to show affection, even if we're going to get a hand clap at the train station when we're just getting that tongue kiss right there from Linda. Yes.
You know what I mean? Because how long do we have to wait for a same-sex relationship making out and having this hot, steamy make-out session being applauded? How many, you know what I mean? How many more years are we going to have to wait for that? We'll have people on the train telling their children not to look or being like, oh, you're in public, can you not do this? And things like that. So it is ridiculous. And I think for people who have the privilege of, like, I guess, flying under the radar, and I think if you're a person who dates the opposite sex, you're flying under the radar. If you are that kind of person, you need to pay attention to when it's your time to step in as an ally and stand up for people. Because there was even the case in London of those two women, a lesbian couple. They got beaten up. They were holding hands and they got beaten up, and it was ridiculous. And then
did they get beaten up by men?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was football hooligans.
Oh my gosh, sorry.
Don't want to blame everything on the football hooligans, but I'm pretty sure it was.
That is disgusting.
And then that's in a couple of weeks later, there was also a same-sex couple, two women again, who had stones thrown at them because they were kissing. So I think, you know, like I said, if we're ever a witness to these kind of things, we need to then step in and check people, obviously, and just like protect people where you can.
Yeah, I think for me, one time I was actually on the train, and as I said to you ladies, like, I'm a Christian, and my faith is Christianity, and I was wearing this t-shirt. This was years ago, and it was Jesus Junkie, and it was these really cool, bright, loud jumpers.
I saw their hoodies.
I was just like, because it was cool, it was so funky, and I was on the train with these two women, and they were obviously a lesbian couple. And you know, like when you put on a t-shirt with a slogan or whatever, once you're wearing it, you're not really thinking about what you're wearing.
Don't think, of course, of course.
And I saw these two women across from me looking really uncomfortable. Like they started fidgeting and just staring at me and just kind of looking to the side. And I was thinking, what is going on? Like, and I'm black, so I'm like, is it because I'm black? And blah, blah, blah. But then I saw them kind of looking at my jumper, and I could see that seeing Jesus Junkie and wearing like my faith on a jumper, for them it was a thing of, we don't know how she's going to react. Like, we know that there are probably some Christians who are completely against us being together and are really, and like, we don't know if this is going to be a dangerous situation for us. And I think it was really interesting to see other people reacting to something that for me wasn't even a thought. I'm just like, I'm wearing a cool jumper, it's a nice color. But for other people, they didn't know if they were going to be in some sort of danger. So it's such a layered conversation talking about PDA in public.
For real. Yeah.
No, it really
it can
is.
be.
Sorry, I'm just taking
I mean, to take it all in, and he's just like, I'm taking it all in.
Because I just didn't even, like, we're talking about people being beaten up, I'm just like, yeah,
it's true. This is what we all just got to check our privilege, guys, and just honestly just use it where we can, like use it to other people's advantage whenever we can, honestly.
Yep.
And I think in regards to public displays of affection, I think we've kindly deciphered in this group that it really is up to each to their own. To their own in regards. But like, Linda, I'm actually impressed that you got a round of applause. I know how shocking it is, but I've seen so many people make out in public and I've never seen them getting applause. So it really makes me think, what were you doing?
That's true.
Girl.
That's true.
She's an impressive kisser. She's a great kisser. What can we say?
It's because, like I said, the couple's so hot. Like, you're such a hot couple. That people like, do it again. People made it OnlyFans for you.
Linda, was it raining? Was it
raining? What does that mean?
Like an R&B video when the rain's coming down and they're kissing in the rain. Honestly, I'm serious. It's like an R&B video. I'm telling you.
You guys are not serious, boy. You guys are not serious.